Designer Note Subject 41. This channel is sponsored by you. Like, comment, and subscribe for content you'd like to see next. When the Rolex reference 116622 was released in 2016, it was an immediate hit with the blue dial and red hands over the finely finished case and bezel. It revitalized the mediocrely obscure Yacht-Master line, and 5 years later, this reference is being hunted down not only by watch collectors, but also competing companies such as Omega. Let's see if Omega can snatch away that Yacht-Master money from you. Why the Yacht-Master? Well, why do sneakerheads buy Air Jordans? Why are Honda Type R so desirable? All these have iconic designs that lifted their products out of their market segments. And when other companies start to make homages of your product, you know you have it made. We've seen this happen with the Submariner, and it's happening for the Yacht-Master as well. The embossed bezel, the clean sunburst dial, and the red seconds hand became a formula for success for Rolex in the luxury sports watch category. And like with the Submariner, Omega seems to be competing in this same segment. If the Seamaster 300M is Omega's jab at the Rolex Submariner, the Seamaster Nekton is its right hook to the Yacht-Master. The similarities are apparent to our eyes regardless of Omega's intentions. On the Yacht-Master 126622, the signature bezel is still present with its sandblasted texture under the beautifully polished embossed numerals. This bezel is made of Rulesium, Rolex's own blend of steel and platinum that punches its ticket into the exclusive luxury club. The Seamaster Nekton has a very similar bezel that is made of grade 5 titanium. While many might contend that titanium can be considered as a precious metal, it's still best known for its lightweight and scratch resistance more than being money in the bank. Its laser-ablated bezel is unidirectional compared to the Yacht-Master's bidirectional build and sports the Seamaster trademark scallop grips. These grips seem more elegant when viewed side by side with the Yacht-Master's. The sandblasting on the Yacht-Master is admittedly more posh and refined looking opposed to the more rugged looking Nekton bezel. The case is both steel on these watches. The Yacht-Master has a lot more polished surfaces than that of the Seamaster. The Seamaster, however, has an additional feature of the helium escape valve that is only offered on the higher depth rated Rolex divers. It's up to the buyer's preference if this is a good thing or not. Spoiler alert, I'd rather not. Both have crown guards, but the Seamaster is a little less pronounced. The case is rated up to 300 meters on the Seamaster compared to the 100 meters only for the Yacht-Master. It's apparent which one of these watches you should be using in deep waters. But then again, I bet many don't even shower with their watches on. The back of these watches do not have the display case backs, but the Seamaster is a bit more interesting with its embossed submarine medallion from the Nekton Foundation that's committed to aquatic exploration and protection. The Yacht-Master, on the other hand, has nothing to talk about. Legibility is king with the Rolex Yacht-Master. Big markers, simple and broad hands, that striking red seconds hand. There's no denying the truth to their statement of the Yacht-Master being readable in the dark. The Seamaster also is readable with similar markers and lume. The hands, though, may put off some buyers due to its skeletonized nature. It is a Seamaster signature, but it does lend a little more visual noise to the dial. The double button marker at the 12, the multiple fonts and text color, different tips on the hands, and the wave dial all make this a very busy watch face. Speaking of this dial, the Seamaster does excel in the materials used with the ceramic laser-cut dial that's accented with a matte finished wave pattern. This crisply cut pattern has become a fan favorite. Back to the Yacht-Master, it's clear that Rolex exercises restraint with the simpler dial featuring a sunburst finished in blue. This is then garnished with a striking red seconds hand. Aside from these eye-catching details, the rest is rather simple and subtle. Rolex uses the chronometer grade 3235 movement on this Yacht-Master, giving it an excellent anti-magnetic property and features an improved 70-hour power reserve. The Seamaster, on the other hand, is a coaxial master chronometer movement with the caliber 8806. This one only has 55 hours of power reserve. It's nicely finished with the Geneva stripes, but neither of these watches bothered to show them off anyway. The Yacht-Master retails at $11,400. Some speculate that the materials used and features in this watch cost far less to warrant such a price. Much more, you need to consider that you can't even find these now at your local authorized dealers. Currently, this one is trading at $13,000 to $15,000 in the gray market. The Seamaster Nekton is a terrific watch with tons of features that even the Yacht-Master could not provide. It offers much more along with supporting an environmental cost. But here's what makes the Nekton appealing to many. With almost the same feel as the Yacht-Master, you can have the Nekton for $5,850. Some may say that the Nekton has a black dial. Well, it doesn't really compare to the 126622. Well, with that Yacht-Master money, you can buy a Nekton and a regular blue-dialed Seamaster and still have spare change for your next timepiece splurge. But that's really it. It all boils down to the feel. There's no substitute for the feeling of getting a Yacht-Master that has become a grail watch to many watch enthusiasts. Once it becomes part of your list, becomes the wallpaper of your phone, and has its dedicated playlist of videos, no amount of comparison or argument can convince you otherwise to get off the hunt. For those who are not part of the hunt, Omega might just be the alternative for you. Speaking of alternatives,